support. Her comments are likely to alarm critics of Stop and Search, who point out that the technique disproportionately targets black and minority ethnic communities. I discussed this reaction with global leadership speaker Onyi Anyado. Onyi Anyado, it's a pleasure having you in the Channel's Business Global Studios for the first time ever.
Yes.
Earlier this week, the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, sent, I believe, a letter to all police forces across England and Wales, basically saying that they should ramp up their stop and search as we go through a wave of crime across the country. I don't know what it is about stop and search and the black community, but it does send a shiver down our spines.
Yeah.
Do you believe personally that this method of stopping crime unfairly targets ethnic minorities?
Yeah, it does. It really does. I mean, even the terminology "ramp up," that's an aggressive, very forward-thinking, not so much forward, but aggressive wording. So I think here in central London or in London, of course, it's gonna be ethnic minorities, and even the police force have said that we are institutionalized racist.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, and that's the truth of the matter. She mentioned that it's going to be across England and Wales. So Cardiff, there's going to be parts of Cardiff, there's going to be no black young boys that's going to be searched. There's going to be parts of maybe Humberside, Devon, Portsmouth, there's only going to be white young boys. But in central London, if they're going to ramp it up 100%, they most probably target 4 young black boys walking by themselves, where they potentially look like gang members. Let's stop and search them.
I can't go through all the statistics, but I know some people will be screaming down the TV at me, saying that, well, we know that black boys, on a whole, if you look at it as a countrywide, we are less likely to get involved in crime because we are such a small proportion of this country anyway.
Yeah.
And we know that even with drugs, because I know with stop and search, it's not just knives they're looking for, they're looking for anything. You're more likely to find drugs on a white male than you are on a black person. But then, of course, London is not Britain. So let's focus on London a little bit. And we know that knife crime disproportionately does affect our community, particularly the Nigerian community, because there are just so many Nigerians living in London. If the police are not stopping and searching these young youths, what do you think is a better deterrent from getting involved in crime?
I think is a multifaceted situation. One, are they going to increase the sentencing? Is that going to be deterrent? Because I've been in prison myself. I've done work in prisons, and some young people, they don't actually care. They really don't actually care. So you have to look at that side of it, of young people. They don't actually care. So they don't care
if they're being stopped, or they don't care if they go to prison or anything.
They don't care about anything. That's the reality. So even if they get stopped and served, and they are a gang member and they haven't got anything on them, it's a win for them, isn't it? And it's a statistic for the government and the police. So I think for me, it's very multifaceted. Two, as I said, I've done work in prisons, and there's a lot of trauma coming from young people. Some of them are really scared. Some of them are really oblivious to what's going on. They don't understand the reality of what it means to carry a knife. Now, again, not every single young person is innocent, but at the same time, it is a situation where the police can't do anything about it, and it's been going on since I was living that particular lifestyle. It's been going on.
You're absolutely right. There's been so much discussion about where black Brits are placed in society.
Yes.
I think, because of the open door policy that was given to Ukrainian refugees, lots of questions about why this is not being offered to black and brown people.
Of course.
Of course, we had the Windrush scandal. Post-Brexit vote, a lot of us who had lived here all our lives felt disconnected with English and other people amongst the nation. And then there were findings from the Young and Black report, and that revealed that the vast majority of black youth do still feel that they cannot get the job opportunity that they want because of the colour of their skin. Is that still a reality in Britain in 2023, that you can be black and British, born here, raised here, understand the rules of the land, but still face prejudices when you're trying to attain a level of, achievement? Of
course, even organisations admit to that there's this discrimination, racist discrimination in that sense. But it takes that high level of guile, persistence, determination and a discipline. Because you mentioned the fantastic Windrush situation. Many parents or families came over from the Caribbean, the West Indies. They had to work triple hard in the face of racism that's unprecedented at that time. So for a young person now, but it wasn't as bad as your parents when they came over from the West Indies. So I think, unfortunately, we're living in a country that It's not every white person is racist, but the UK or Great Britain was developed on racism. Let's not get it twisted. So I think it's going to take an extra hard work. You know, a lot of the Black Lives Matter, you know, diversity is being pushed. That's good, but there's still a lot of work to be done. But I think there's still opportunities out there.
Yeah, talk to me about those opportunities. So how do you get over that mindset? Because I think that's why there can be such a divide between what some people would call the black and blues, which are the Conservatives, the likes of Kemi Badenoch, the likes of Kwasi Kwarteng, you know, MPs that basically say, we're not looking at the colour of our skin, we're just wanting to get our job done. And then you've got on the other hands the likes of Kate or Samor, friend of the show, Dawn Butler, on the other side of the spectrum that are like, no, you cannot not talk about race because that's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you give to young blacks who, yes, are potentially being prevented from climbing the career ladder because of the colour of their skin, but knowing they can do it despite the colour of their skin?
Yeah, and I think you just answered the question. They can do it despite the answer of the skin, but it takes a high level of excellence, understanding your industry. I've always told when I work with young people, be a future thinker. The future you're not thinking about has already started. Just don't be stagnant in your thinking. I think sometimes that's the situation. And then we can listen to the negativity, network with like-minded black professionals who are pushing for the next level, but also network with like-minded white individuals too. Yeah. So you have a network of black, white, Asian, Chinese, whatever, who are pushing for the next level. Because when you get in, as you know, when you get in particular circles, the colour of your skin is not even mentioned in that sense. Yes. They want to see the value that you bring. And I think sometimes if we think the only value we've got is the colour of our skin and people don't value our colour of our skin, let's flip it round. Let's bring value. Let's bring new thought leadership. Let's bring a new ideology into the workplace or